prevents them from delegating effectively is fear, usually.
And that leads me to the first question, which is, what do a lot of us get wrong when we're thinking about emotional intelligence, EQ versus IQ? What do a lot of us get wrong as we're thinking about that?
It's a great question, and it's an important one. It's the one that I think about a lot, and the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing these days. So over the last 20 years, as an organizational psychologist, I studied what makes people really good at doing their work, especially leaders. And what I found was that there are a couple of categories that we typically focus on in terms of skill sets that we're trying to develop. But over time, what I started to see is that as we're training leaders in, let's just say, for example, something simple like delegation, it takes me a very short amount of time to train a high-performing leader on how to delegate effectively, like the mechanics, the behaviors. But that's not what prevents them from delegating effectively. What prevents them from delegating effectively is fear, usually. I'm afraid that this person's not going to do as good of a job, or maybe I'm afraid that they're going to do a better job than I'm going to do. And so those are the things that are really preventing people, or trust is obviously a factor in delegation as well. And I would categorize that as an emotion. The more I looked into that, the more I started to realize that the neurobiological research shows very clearly that the majority of our actions as human beings are driven by emotion. So if you think of that as a performance factor, there are almost no organizations that are addressing that lever as a performance factor. They're just trying to manage it or even get rid of it if possible. Like, let's just look at the data and not talk about emotions at all is often what I'll hear. And that's just not realistic. And it's also a missed opportunity.